What's up, fellas? What's going on? It's your boy Nacho. I'm just gonna be going over my training history throughout the years. This is when I was 21 years old. This is 185. I hit for 3 reps. Here I was about one. I was 175 body weight. Yeah, those first 2 reps are a little like push press, but this last one was a clean rep. I never trained for the overhead press. I came up to the bar and just tried it one day. I think this was like a week after or something. 195, a little push press. But it's a good rep. I was playing baseball during this time, so look at some of my home runs I got here, man. Yeah, from like 21 to 22 years old for 2 seasons, I played baseball in college. So I was going to school full time, I was working full time, and I was playing baseball. I was working like 2 a.m.s, 3 in the morning. So I was also training, and it was hard to get my recovery in, but this is the first time I hit 315 right here. Hell yeah. Always love my dips, man. This is 90 pounds for, I think, 11 reps. But yeah, so during this time, I didn't really have a program. I just kind of went to the gym and lifted. I went every single day, I remember. And during this time, I was just benching a lot, dude. I loved the bench, bro. So I did a lot of powerlifting. I kind of did powerlifting as well. I tried it, but it's my first time doing 325. So this is when I was 22 years old. And I think, man, I should have went higher this day because this went up pretty easy, but I stopped there. This was in the weight room with the baseball players, man. This is 475. I was about 180 here, 180 pounds. And I'd never trained deadlift before. I just came up and picked it up. I started training a little more. Sumo, I know this is gay, but I just want to see how much I could do sumo with some straps. And this is 525. It just slipped out my hands, man. But yeah, same. This is during season. So this is 325, I think, for 7 reps. One of my best squat sets I've ever done. So this is all before Eccentric Overload, man. I was pretty strong already, and I had a pretty low body weight. 175 to 185, always kept it. And I was an inconsistent lifter too, because during season, you're practicing, you're playing every day, and that's when like you have a bunch of projects for school and stuff. I was working full time. I was working nights. I didn't get a good sleep, so I was probably averaging about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a day, man. It was brutal, and I still came to lift. I wonder how much stronger I would have been if I would have just slept more. And during this time, I was eating like shit too. So yeah, this is my best squat set I've ever had. This is 405 for 2 low bar squats. I don't do low bar no more because they don't really grow your legs. It's more like glutes, lower back, adductors, and stuff like that. But yeah, right here was about 180 pounds. I think this is 225 for 10 reps, almost 11. I was still 180 pounds here. Yeah, so this was all when I was playing baseball. I was lighter, obviously, because, dude, baseball season, man, you're always on the go. We're traveling, eating like shit. When it's a game or something, you're traveling, you don't eat for like 10 hours. So yeah, man, my body weight was pretty low during this time, but I still had my strength, man. My split was push-pull legs, and then on the 7th day, I would just do anything that wasn't sore. These are some of my best rows I had. One of my best row sets I had, barbell rows. And I always did them on a plate just to add a deficit, add more range of motion to it. I don't know how many reps I did with this weight. I think around 6, 7, or 8, something around there. But yeah, man, I'm pretty much just yanking it. I mean, my form is all right. This is 255. Yeah, it's 255. Yeah, my form is pretty sloppy, but kind of just yanking it up there. Right here, I thought I was strong as shit. So this is after I played baseball. This is probably a few months after, a year after, I believe. This is when I started taking care of my testosterone, where I started learning about testosterone, because I went to school for kinesiology, exercise science, So you learn about testosterone, you learn about the muscle. That's why when Genetic Beast, whenever he explains his videos, I understand what he's saying, because in school, in class, we learned about sarcomeres in series, and in parallel, we learned about myofibril, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. We learned about all that, man. So I remember my professor, he was lecturing one day, and he mentioned that if you do concentric only, you lose muscle. And I was in my head, this is before I even watched the video. Oh, hold on, guys. This is 315 for 4 reps right here. Even before I watched the Genetic Beast video, I was like, so why are we doing concentric? I asked him, but he said, well, when you lift, you do concentric and eccentric, so it doesn't matter. I was like, oh, okay. I kind of just brushed it off. And then when I came across a Genetic Beast video talking about how you need to get DOMs in order to adapt, I was like, that makes fucking sense. This is 275 for 10 reps. One of my better bench sets I've ever hit. So all this, from here on out, from the 315 for 4 reps to the rest of the video, this is going to be, I think, a few months before I started doing eccentric overload. And here I was benching, during this time I was benching 3 to 5 weeks. Not 3 to 5 weeks, 3 to 5 times a week. And so I noticed that when school got very busy, I had to drop down to 1 to 2 days a week. I noticed that my strength went down. I was like, what the fuck? Why am I getting weaker? Like, am I losing muscle or something? And it wasn't that. I learned later that it's just your CNS. When you're benching all the time, you're going to be able to bench more because you're practicing it more. You're priming your neural drive. So this is 225 for 18 reps right here. Yeah, I was decently strong for my body weight. I've always stood around, like, right here I'm 185 or 180, around there. So I've always stuck between 175 to 185. Yeah, I was pretty strong. I didn't have like crazy strength, I believe. I always believed I had like a decent amount of strength. So I mean, I don't really show off my strength now. You guys can see I'm just doing eccentric overload. So I'm doing a bunch of weight just eccentrically, trying to cause muscle damage. But, I just wanted to show you guys what I was able to do before eccentric overload, so you guys can have some context and you guys can see if I progress later in the future. This is 245 for 14 reps. This is one of my favorite sets right here. I didn't believe in like pausing. I should have paused more, but I was just like, man, I'm just gonna go in the gym and start fucking banging weights. That's why you see me do the rows like that and stuff, where I'm just like yanking it. I believe you just go in the gym and just yank it. That's what I believed before. So obviously my philosophy's changed. I do eccentric overload now. Then here I was doing full body 3 times a week, or I was even doing full body 5 times a week. So, but like I said, when I stopped benching as often, I got weaker. So that's what you guys now have to know the difference. I'll see you guys later. Peace.